Michael.
Yes.
We're here.
We are. We're back on
arrived.
the podcast. Hey, boys and girls. And with us today, we have Miss Jenna Birmingham. Woo-hoo.
Woo, 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 woo.
Jenna, welcome to the show. Here's where you say, thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, just butt in anytime.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so good at this already.
I know, it's going to be great.
Oh,
I
boy.
can do better. I can do better.
This is the best one yet.
Yes.
Awkward
Jenna
start,
is
so.
one of those people. She's super. I met her at One Voice 2024 briefly. We had like two conversations, and she was cool. But then we came back, and this One Voice, it was like every time we ran into each other, we were cracking each other up and just having great back and forth. And she was just, I can say this now that we've interviewed other people and One Voices way in the past. You're one of my favorite people. You're one of my favorite people that I got to be friends with.
Oh, my goodness.
And so, just always cheerful, always cheery, always a lot of fun. And so great to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Mike, to tell you the truth, we talked about 4 minutes before this, or 14 minutes before this. I would
What
say,
happens in the ready room stays in the ready room.
okay, well, at least I can say that I already know you're
don't
cool.
talk about that thing that we said we weren't going to do.
True. We're not going to do or talk about length or things. But,
Yes.
No, especially not of Travis Kelce's.
Oh, now we've opened a can of worm.
Oh, no.
It was a short story. It's fine.
We're doing so good.
That's not what Taylor says. Anyway.
We're doing so good.
Don't ask, don't tell. It's fun.
Yeah, it only took a minute and a half to get there, guys.
Boy, oh boy. I was really just talking about how cool Jenna has been so far, and we haven't even recorded that long. But anyway, Mike, continue.
So, Jenna, as we do, we want to hear your story, how you got here and everything. But one of the cool things about Jenna that we haven't had on the podcast yet is Jenna's forte is automotive. And so she's one of the kind of like this whole Texas group with Jenna and Troy Holden and Charles the Voice and I
Cliff.
think and Cliff
Cliffy.
and why can't I think of his name all of a sudden?
Name all of your
Williams.
friends. Go.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
From Amarillo. Gosh, Jeff Williams.
Yeah,
Is
Williams.
he part of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
He normally doesn't make it up for the lunches, but, I mean, just awesome.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, so I mean, just this whole conglomerate of like automotive specialists, and
Yeah, Glenn is here
so-
also.
Who is?
Yeah, there's a lot of us. I said Glenn is here also, but I mean, yeah,
Galena.
there's a lot of us here in the DFW area.
I do want to dig
Yeah.
into that at some point.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to hear kind of.
Go
I mean, you
hang out at
talked a
Mike's
little bit of.
house.
You talked about it a little bit, just kind of the subtle nuances of doing automotive ads and stuff. So, as you tell your story, I'd love to kind of get into the particulars of that. But first, we want to know you. We want our listeners to know who is Jenna Birmingham and what makes her tick, and what got her to where she is today. So, what gave you that itch to try the voice acting thing?
Honestly, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a performer, whether it was on stage, screen, musician, anything like that. I didn't know voiceover was really a choice of occupation when I was a kid. I just thought actors got lucky enough, and I'm going to date myself. There was, for The Little Mermaid, the guy who played Prince Eric, he was on a TV show. So again, it's like, okay, so actors get to do voiceover work. So that was kind of my understanding of things. And again, I wanted to be some kind of performer. So I did lots of acting camps in drama, in theater. I was a band geek, which is awesome.
What instrument?
I started with the flute, and then I moved to auxiliary percussion, and then at one point I had to pick up alto sax because I was in the jazz band after school, and there's not a lot of flute music for that, contrary to Anchorman's moment. But
And do you mean
Alto sax, the thing that Kenny G plays?
no, alto sax is a regular
regular-
saxophone. It's just one of the smaller ones.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so I had this, musical, and I sang a lot. More recently, I think it was 2016, I actually performed in Carnegie Hall. And I mean, it was in a choir. It wasn't like just me. But
That's sick.
I have a very solid musical background and that kind of stuff. And when I got of age, I really I decided to become a mom, and my husband at the time joined the military, and the internet is not what it was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And one of my girlfriends from when I was a kid, I've known her since I was 2 years old. I was living in Italy at the time, and we were talking, and she's like, listen, I know you don't want to do the stage or screen stuff anymore, but you should really just think about doing voiceover work. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll think about it. But that marinated, like that stayed in there, and it marinated for a few years. And then a couple duty stations later, I was in Hawaii, and my kids were both in school. I didn't really have anything that I was doing, and I was bored, so I'd call the radio station and talk to the morning guy. And he's like, you've got a really great voice. And it's like, thank you. And, we would wind up actually talking. And he's like, if you can get into the station, I can teach you like some of the basics in terms of how to edit and record yourself. And I was like, deal. And he's like, we have a new PD and you have marketing and promotions experience, right? And I was like, yeah, I do. I was in charge of that for the Girl Scouts when I was in Italy. And he's like, yeah, just come in, try to, get in on the promotion side. And I was like, absolutely. So I did, and I was successful and got in the station. They have microphones there. And so the nice thing is I'm working in the promotions area. I helped build a street team. It was a 5-station cluster. And, he was teaching me the basics on how to record myself and a little bit of training on how to be a DJ. I never wanted to be a DJ. I have no real DJ skills, even though I was a DJ for a little over a year, years later. But the main thing is when you're at a radio station, if you make yourself available to the production guy, he's always in the need of voices. And there was one day he came up to me and he's like, hey, can you read? And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's been a minute, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I can still read.
Can you read?
I can read.
Yeah.
And so,
She's
I went
funny
in.
with a quip, too.
And I went in, and it was a 10-second sweeper for McDonald's. And, once I did that piece, the other the other PDs for the other stations, they're like, whoever she is, use her more. So, it started to be of, every couple of times I'd go in and be like, so why am I talking off axis? Or why am I doing this? Or what are you doing with that EQ? Like, why does it look like that? So I was learning, on the job training kind of a thing. And then it just progressed to, hey, can you just go in the other room and record yourself? Sure. Can you just go ahead and pick out a music bed and go ahead and put that together? Yes. You always say yes. Yes. The answer is yes to everything in radio. You don't ever say no.
Yes.
So, then it was, hey, can you go ahead and make some sound effects and plug those in there? So it was definitely trial by fire, baptism by fire, however you want to call it. That was how I got started with doing voiceover and production. And I was on voices.com back then, which is completely different algorithms than it is today. And I made my own demo for the Best New Voice.
Yeah.
I did get nominated and was a finalist for Best New Voice, and I had asked about it later. Again, the internet was not a resource. I did a lot of things that today they'd be like, what are you thinking? But again, this was many years ago.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, well, if you hadn't made your own demo, you probably would have won. And it's like, no, okay, that lesson is learned.
You pretty much won. It was just an asterisk on that.
Yeah, there's a little star by it.
Had you not, you would have. So
yeah,
you would have.
So I definitely could have. So I did that, and then we were stationed in Hawaii for a while. So I did that for I can't remember exactly how long, but it was a couple of years. And I wound up, they got a new production director. I helped train my replacement. And, after he was set up and good to go, he's like, okay, well, we need to let you go because we can't afford to keep you. And I was like, I'll do it for free. Like, I just want to be here. I love doing this so much. And they're like, you're too good to be free. Like, we really can't do that. So I was like, awesome, and
Wow.
By the end of that day, one of the guys that worked there, he was friends with Ron Jacobs, and Ron Jacobs was a really, really big guy, 60s, 70s. He helped create America's Top 40 with Casey Kasem and all that stuff. So he had a very strong radio history to him, and he was making an internet radio station, which realistically these days would be a podcast. And I got in there. He brought me in to help trim the library in preparation. And then he found out, she can do a little bit more than that. And so he kind of kept me on, and I wound up being his producer for his show. And that gave me the opportunity. I was producing liners for people like Joe Cipriano that he had called in to do stuff. So, this is back in 2008 that I was doing that. So I got some really great connections in the voiceover industry through that, which was priceless. And then we moved back to the state, mainland, and in California. And again, 2008 is not a good time to separate from the military and try to start your life in a new location. So I went from having a couple of
house.
Yeah. So I went from having potential jobs with, either CBS or Intercom or, any of those radio stations in Sacramento to, we're letting people go in a couple of weeks' time. And one of the producers there, he loved my voice. He's like, just hang with me. He's like, just give me a couple of months. I really, really want to bring you in. And I hung with him. And then I think it was January or February, he's like, okay, so they let me go, but I'm going to be going to, I'm going to be doing some Intercom down in LA or whatever. And, we stayed friends. We stayed in contact and all that kind of stuff. My voiceover went to very much part-time. That's being generous. So I just kind of chilled. I wound up, when my daughter got a little older, she wanted to do pageants, and it was the most expensive hobby I never thought I would ever have. But I got to make
tell me you weren't one of those pageant moms.
Only once. There was one day, and I apologized for it profusely after I did it. But I got to make pageant routine edits for her and some of the other girls and stuff like that, because it was she started doing natural pageants, then she started doing glitz pageants, which is toddlers and tiaras, that kind of stuff, and then she did scholarship pageants. But again, I got the chance to, I was playing with music at that point. So again, I'm still kind of playing with production. And, throughout all these years, there was one point I took a weekend training thing. Deb Monroe happened to be coming through Sacramento. I took that with her. We had, a improv house in Sac that I would go to on occasion, play the theater games and that kind of stuff. So, even though I wasn't actively voicing a lot of stuff at that time through those years, I was still doing things to keep educating myself and to keep skill sets going on. And then I think it was 2016-ish. I had the guy that had wanted me years before, he's like, so I've got a thing coming up. And, I know you can voice. Do you still do production? And I'm like, I'm rusty, but yeah, I can still do it. And he's like, okay, because there's, about 5 women that can voice and produce, and they all have jobs. So you're a unicorn, and I want you. And I'm like, you called me a unicorn. Yes. Yes, whatever you want. I'm a unicorn.
Single horn.
Exactly. And so I went back to school at that point just to get a certificate in radio production, a certificate in music entrepreneurship. And it was around that same point in time that I was like, I kind of want to start being a part of the voiceover community at this point. I hadn't really done any of the Facebook groups or any of that kind of stuff, but I started to get into it at that point and really making a very close-knit, small group of people that I would see online and that kind of stuff. And that grew over the years. But I did that, and finally with this job that I have now, I've been with them for over 6 years, and it was, I got the call and he was like, okay, here's the thing. And he was like, originally you can stay in Sac, we'll just work remotely. And then corporate was like, no, they all have to be in the same location. And he was like, okay, well, he wound up filling up his production hub, and he's like, well, I can help you get the job with the hub in Philly. He's like, there's a hub that's going to be in Dallas, Texas. I don't really know that guy. There's one in Kansas City. Again, I don't really know them, but I can, that's who it is. And it's like, well, I like to think that I can get this job on my own. if you can just help me get past that first, the website where you fill in all the things. And he was like, yeah, no problem. So he helped me, figure out the trick to get through the first filter.
Wow. So you blew past who you know. You decided, like, I'm such a unicorn. I don't need that part.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, it took him 10 years to get me, but he finally got me. And when I started doing, getting more involved in the Facebook groups and stuff, that was when I'd gotten divorced. And I'm like, I need to have an income. So this is the time for me to really dive in more into doing voice work and stuff. So that was really the more recent kick in the ass to get in and go after everything and work. But yeah, so I wound up getting this job and had to move to Texas for it. And my kids were adults, so I took the nest. The kids never left the nest. I took the nest. The nest is now in Texas. The kids are still in California. But I moved here right before COVID. So shortly after I get here, they're like, you're working from home. And then, a few months after that, they're like, well, you guys, you can come back to the studios if you want. And we're all like, we're home.
Why?
Like,
who wants to do that?
I have full dogs here.
Yeah, I was like, I can hang out. Like, this is awesome. I can still work from home. And so that was kind of a funny thing. And like, my boss's boss, he's like, why are you still there? Like, why don't you move back to California? I'm like, I met a boy. So he's part of the reason why I stayed.
Aw, true love.
Aw, we got married last year, so
Yay.
it was a good choice. But yeah, it was a slow progression. There were some years of very, very slow progress in terms of working on a mic and that kind of stuff. But with this job, I've absolutely made up for it because I make over 2,000 commercials a year, easy.
Oh my
Completely
gosh.
easy. Yeah, and that's voicing them and producing them. And then I have my own freelance voiceover stuff that I do. And the nice thing is if I get an audition or a job, I'm already here. Mic's already on. Everything. So it doesn't take any time. So my turnaround times are normally very quick. If it's not within an hour, I'll normally let them know, hey, you'll have it by end of day. So that's my life. I start a little bit before work doing personal stuff. If I have directed sessions, that's when I take lunch. So,
Are you a 7-day-a-weeker?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I actually I save weekends. I'll do like podcast stuff. I'll do coaching on weekends, but for the most part, I need to have my weekends for me. Yeah. Like I need to do the other things that bring me joy. I mean, I do what I love, and normally people's hobby is, I get to do what I love. Yeah, that's my work.
Right.
So, my hobbies now include playing with my dogs and, watching murder documentaries and stuff. Like that's hanging out with friends and family.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, and hanging out, with friends and family. Like that's what I need to do, and I need to do it for myself because if I don't let myself charge, I'm not going to have anything to give when I'm making that much stuff in the week. Like there's a creative wall. I have hit it before. I'm about 3 weeks away from hitting it again. Because it generally happens the week before Thanksgiving. And I'm normally making over 30 commercials that day, and my brain is jello when it's over. I mean, when the day is over. And there's several days of that. So the nice thing is this year I know it's coming. The first year that I had this job, I didn't know that was a thing. I was just sitting there working, and all of a sudden my ears I couldn't hear levels. It was done. And I freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, I just got this job and I can't, like, if this is what it's going to really be like. And I was freaking out, and I went and sat in one of the other producers' office. And about 5 minutes after I was in there, I saw it hit her. And I was like, okay, thank God. And then there was another producer that came in. He's like, I'm done. And we're like, how are you? What do you mean you're done? He's like, oh no, I'm not done. Like I'm done. Like I can't hear anything. And our boss wound up walking past us, and he's like, oh, this is where you all are. We're like, yeah. And he looks at us, and we're all just kind of glazed eyes look. And he's like, go home. I mean, he understands, you can only, your cup is only so full. When it's empty, you're not going to get anything good. So, that was something that I absolutely learned with this job. is that there is a creative wall and you can hit it. So
yeah, you're Britney Spears on the Vegas Strip. Like you are
Exactly.
always on.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, and the nice thing is we know that there's a buildup. The buildup is already starting. And the fun thing also is that I'm making right now Halloween commercials. Is it Labor Day? I think.
No, that passed. I think.
No, Veterans Day.
Day, yeah.
So I've got Labor Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Christmas sales commercials. They're all right now. Like, so, I mean, in a day you can go from one holiday to the other. That part I do think is actually kind of fun for these couple of weeks that we're kind of now in. So, but yeah, I love the fact that I get to voice stuff and produce it, and sometimes I'm writing it, sometimes I'm casting it if it's multiple voices. So, I mean, there's times where I'm doing, from start to finish. Sometimes I'll get a request from one of the other producers that I work with, and they're like, we just need a line. Okay, and it's great because I get to do both, and I'm incredibly blessed and lucky that I get to do what I do.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great. So is it... the spots that you do, the spots that you create, do they multiple genres? Is it just whatever your company is producing at the time?
Yeah, it can be anything from a 5-second, this hour of music is brought to you by Whataburger, Alt 1037. Like that counts as one. And it can be, a college commercial. I don't get the monster truck ones. They choose a different producer for those. But I do get a lot of automotive that I'll be making. I get a lot of stuff for colleges. I get promo stuff that I voice for other producers. Like pick something. This time of year, I haven't made any political ones, but I've still have to listen to it and load it into the system. So I'm not producing anything, but I've still kind of like last minute quality control to make sure that there's no FCC violations and that kind of stuff that are getting on the air for that. But yeah, there's sometimes where we'll do PSAs. There's sometimes where we do job postings, which are, you remember in a newspaper when you went to get a job and there's just this verbiage and it's so poorly written. So it's the same thing, but for the radio. Like they literally just like, okay, they have to take it from the newspaper. They are so, you have 65 word sentences on those things. Like it's ridiculous. But those are some of the things that we get to make.
Stock cans.
Yeah.
Stacked tall.
Symmetrical. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, I make whatever comes across my desk. I mean, I have the nice thing about all of the producers and all the different hubs. We all have, we're kind of our own voice roster in terms of there's none of the other females have my voice. Like we've got one that's younger sounding, one that's older sounding, one that, we really try to get like all of the types of voices. We don't have all the voices we need. There's some, I wish I had like some wish list voices that I had. But
you need any old white guys
or middle-aged white guys.
There's not a lot of them.
Well, no, we have some of those. But yeah, it's cool with that. And then also with that, not all the producers specialize in the same things. For imaging, I'm still learning imaging. I can do imaging for alt because it's a genre that I'm really familiar with because that's normally what I listen to.
Yeah.
So I know what they're looking for. But in terms of like sports imaging or hard rock or just any of the others, I'm like,
are you afraid to put out there that you're looking for a certain type of person and get 1,000 emails after this?
Well, yeah, because that is the downside. I do get emails from other voices, and I do try to respond to them just to, I know what it's like to send emails out in the void, and it sucks, and you don't know if anyone's listening. I can't use you. Like, you have to be an employee for us to use you. So, that's our current rules. And so, but if I get the email, and especially if if it's well written and if it's a really well done email, I will definitely respond to the voice sending it. And it's like, listen, I love, everything that you've written. This is awesome. And I really wish that I could help you. However, we aren't allowed to use outside voices. We don't have budgets for that. So
that's also very helpful to know that exists. I mean, I guess anything exists in this industry, but I would imagine you would want more help, but you can't. It's too much.
Yeah.
And
I wish that we had more women of color, all of the colors. Like, that would be awesome. But, I mean, and the thing is realistically, if you're a DJ, yeah, we can use you. You can get in our voice pool. But if you want my job, you coming into my job, I was hired for voice first, production second. A lot of the other producers on my team, they're producers that can voice. So, and, there have been more people that have recently been hired that are definitely strong with voiceover. And that was really the big, the big thing that pushed them over the top. But you got to know how to produce. Like it is easier to learn production than it is to learn voiceover stuff. But, you really need to have that ability to produce commercials, multiple styles of commercials. It's not just, I can edit my voice and put a bed on it. Okay, that's good. That's a nice start. Learn more, challenge yourself more, create stuff. I mean, there's no reason that any voice can't learn to also be a producer. Ladies, I'm speaking to you.
It needs more ladies.
Yeah.
I need more ladies. We really do. We really need more female producers.
I might
definitely.
send you some names, but we won't talk about that right now.
Okay. Hey,
Keep that private. Keep that off the air.
This seems like a really good segue into my pre-question.
Okay.
How do you keep up your mental health? And tell me what that looks like, please. Because that sounds, honestly, it sounds like golden handcuffs to me a lot, but also the dream job that everyone's been asking for their whole lives.
Exactly. So, like I'd mentioned, I take weekends off as much as I can. You really have to prioritize yourself. You really need to do the things. If running around the house for an hour with your stereo blaring and singing at the top of your lungs, I will do this. I'll do it in my car too. That's one of the things. Singing brings me joy. Singing is something that just lifts me, makes me feel better. I enjoy. I may not nail every note, but it's something that helps me be me and let me enjoy, that part of things. And it's not this. I'm not here. Normally on Fridays when I'm done with work, I shut everything down. I shut the door. I do not come into my studio. This is my studio, by the way. It's
Hello,
a
studio.
Yeah. Hello.
studio.
Plenty of room.
If you're just listening,
dancing.
it's a lovely studio with blue curtains.
It is. That's my sound. There's a closet behind that. So, but yeah, it has to be big because I've got a few dogs that are in here during the day. So, but yeah, I shut the door. I don't come in here. I don't want the temptation of it. I'm still going to check my emails a couple times a day because this is a job that does have the golden handcuffs bit to it. But yeah, I do the things that bring me joy. I mean, I'll play with the dogs, take them for a walk, or, depending on the weather. It's Texas.
Yeah.
There's about 3 weeks of the year you can do that without dying of heat stroke.
Yep.
But yeah, I just make sure to take that time. Sleeping, as a voice person in general, you need to sleep. Sleeping is very important. I am bipolar, and part of my care for keeping that not in control so much, but part of my taking care of myself mentally is sleeping, making sure I get a good night's sleep. That's incredibly important. So, if part of my Saturday I'm watching something and if I fall asleep, good for me. Like, I got a little cat nap, and apparently that's what I needed. But yeah, I try to do things that make me happy, and whether that is on one weekend visiting family, or if it's literally just becoming one with the couch and just mind-numbing television programming, that's okay. Like,
Fill the rest of your cups.
I give myself full permission to not clean the house that day. Don't worry about doing laundry. Don't worry about unloading the dishwasher. I have to give myself permission to recharge and to let myself, to relax and to get back to me. And I mean, I don't know. I also have a nice circle of people that support me and kind of help, they'll do like buddy checks in a way, or, they'll look at how, like my social media, based on how I'm posting things or the type of things that I'm posting, if I go quiet, they're like, everything okay? Like, yeah, no, I've just been really busy. But, there are times where in the past, I've gone kind of quiet or I just don't post like normal. And it is because I'm in some kind of funk. And that's, I don't beat myself up for having those days. Everybody has a down day.
Yeah.
And, part of what I do is surround myself with people that care about me. And like I mentioned, playing with my dogs, going out watching a movie. Sometimes I try to not do retail therapy as often as possible. That can be a problem. But yeah, it's, surrounding yourself with people who understand and care about you is huge. And whether that's people in the voiceover community, family, friends, what have you. So I don't have any like magic trick or routine that I really do beyond taking basic care of myself, making sure I get some sleep. I got to take my meds, but yeah, just making sure that my spirit, my soul, my me, gets to refill when I can. And I really try to make sure that the weekends are mine. I will coach on weekends. And I will coach after work certain days of the week. But again,
I
really
do a podcast certain days after.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do podcasts. But yeah, I do try to prioritize myself and my health and my mental health by just don't feel guilty about the things that you choose to do if that's the energy you have that day.
Yeah.
So now, again, going back to the golden handcuffs thing, have you ever had, or how often do you have moments where you will actually you'll feel that coming on? Because we all feel that, you hit that wall and it's coming. We talked about that. Have you ever had a point where you have a deadline, you have to get the thing done, but then you just know, I am not in the right state of mind to do this, and I have to email this director or this agent or whatever and say, I'm sorry, I can't do this today?
Generally speaking, when I've had those moments, I tend to come out of it within a few hours because I can step away. Like I mentioned, like I'll go sing some stuff for a while and that'll instantly bring me out of whatever funk, depending on the playlist, but don't go singing a bunch of emo stuff.
Yeah, no dashboard for you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I'll step away. I have, emailed me like, hey, I need a little bit of a little extra time for that. I've been very fortunate that anytime that I've had a moment, and there's been times where I've read scripts that instantly it's like, I'm going to need a minute, to come back from that. Just because for whatever reason they really touch me or they bring up some emotional thing for me. And,
I didn't even consider that piece of it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the script itself might send you into that weird headspace.
Yeah. And so, and again, same thing, just step away for a minute, play with the dogs, let them outside, get a drink, like I will take a break at that point, step away, play some music. And then by the time I sit back down, I'm generally okay. And I think there was one time where I actually wound up calling a friend and just saying, so this just happened. And, it was like a 5-10 minute conversation, maybe. And it was like, okay, that's out of my system. Now I can move on and do the next thing. Because I will, and I mean, even vocally, I'll get scripts sometimes. First thing in the morning, it is like Disney casting call thing that they have. And it's like 80 seconds of copy that you got to read in 60 seconds. And it's a kettle call and it's super, super high energy. And then after that, I'll have a gentleman's club, which is a completely different style read.
That's a different feel.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. And exactly. So I'll do that. And
then come to our club and see all the pretty women.
Exactly. So, and then I'll go from that to maybe a PSA about, some new development with, supporting cancer or mental health awareness or, or a legal spot, about divorce, with, looking for a good divorce lawyer kind of a thing. And then I'll do a college spot. So, I mean, I'm already vocally all over the place
And mentally.
in a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a bunch of
so-
emotions, too, all... Okay.
Yeah.
I guess...
So that's the thing is, I mean, if you do have one that kind of gets you for a minute, it's okay to step back. You can just step back for a second.
I
take a
almost
minute,
feel like
take
I've
that.
had permission from you because I'll do this and I feel very guilty, but I'm like, I know I have to. I'm having a hard time. Time to go to the woods. That's what I do. I just
And that's
go
perfect.
outside. I've also decided that I can never work a job that doesn't have some sort of animal you can pet because I've had 3 now and it's magic. What are you talking about? I'll get paid less, but still be able to pet animals. But yeah,
I have one dog
the
that
trick
will
is
actually
have
crawl
your
under
own
my
animals.
stairs.
well,
Yeah,
that's,
that helps.
That's part of it. That's
Yeah.
this job.
And you give
Two
it a little
animals.
scritch
Yeah.
behind the ears and they land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, one
That's
of mine, she will actually go like literally underneath. She'll put her head on the arm or the foot of the chair sometimes as a pillow, but she'll be like literally underneath me. So there's times where I'm having to, I'll be sitting really weird when I'm producing stuff because it's like, dog, little dog. And then they'll pop their head. You can't really see it here, but I have the corner desk and I'll have a dog that'll just like pop his head up right there. And it's like,
I have
we need
the same
scratches.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep. I have the same thing for my day job right out there. And yeah, she'll come in and hi.
Yeah.
Just
You need to love me right now.
yes,
Yeah.
love
Oh,
me
okay.
currently.
Twist
Right
the
now,
arm.
this is what you need to do. I know you're in the middle of a meeting and you might be on camera, but you need to love me right now.
That's so sweet.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you
cats
For
for me.
absolutely
dogs,
need to-
Mitch.
Cats.
Yeah, you
Oh yeah,
absolutely
you and your
My
cats.
cats do the same thing, just slower and less. Nope, just as licky, I would say.
Yeah, but absolutely give yourself permission. If that's what you need in that moment, yes, yes, VO is definitely life, but there's more to life than just VO. Sorry. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, you have a life outside of VO. You have friends, you have family, you have passions. It doesn't all have to be this. And it's better if it's not, because then you have more that you can bring into this job.
Yeah.
So-
When I first started, I thought, oh, I'm so into this. I'm going to finally be a nerd in something where I know it all. And that's all I know. And that's all I'll talk about. And then everyone will like me better because I know a thing really cool that other people don't. And I'm like, no, I still like board games and doing
Yeah,
all this
I was
other
just about to say, board games still exist,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Yeah. I play Sid Meier's Civilization. Like,
Yes.
yeah, I play
Okay.
that on the regular.
Although Civ 7 sucks.
Whoa.
I haven't
hot
even.
take.
I'm the one that I've been playing right now is the one from the 360 that was on the 360. Like I did the.
Oh, Civilization,
Yeah, the one I-
Revolutions, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think that's the one it
Okay,
is.
yeah, I remember
but
that
I
one.
mean,
I
I've been
remember.
playing that for. Oh, it's 2025. Probably what 14 years.
Long.
It's
As
been
long
out
as
that
I've
long.
been
Yeah,
in
about
my
that long.
relationship,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
But it's it's a really great puzzle kind of thing, and it's a nice time kill, and it does get you thinking a little bit. You have strategies for everything. It's fun. But yeah,
I have to agree. Doesn't matter how old the game is. It's still great.
If it's a
Pokemon.
good
If it's
game.
still, if it's a good game and it still hits you, why not still play it?
Yep.
As long as your system still works.
Yeah.
And you have a
There's the catch.
360 that hasn't gone into the red ring of death yet.
Well, when I got the 360, well, it was my ex's, but he had it, I think, a week, and he got the red ring right straight off the bat. But yeah, the 360 that it's oh god, backwards forwards compatible, because I've got my one in the living room.
Oh, okay,
and
okay,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
able to transfer it over. So
Oh, I didn't know it. I didn't know Xbox did that.
yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
one of my
I don't know about
kids
that. I
has-
don't know
they
the
got
new ones
one.
do.
Yeah,
Must
like
be
not
new.
every game does, but a lot of them.
There's
are
a lot
backwards
that do
compatible.
that are forward compatible or backward
Okay,
compatible.
PlayStation
whichever.
games you used to be able to play the music on them, so that's pretty sweet. I mean, or OG
Oh, my Rock
PlayStation.
Band. It's embarrassing how much money in DLC I got
Oh,
with
we
Rock
played
Band.
Rock Band.
Oh,
We had the
fuck.
family band going. It was great. I always ended
Yeah.
up on the drums though, because no one else wanted to play the drums,
It's tough.
and I broke the drums because I banged them so hard.
Rock too hard, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, when I started
were the
playing that
days,
game,
though.
it was we need a singer, and then it was like, oh, can you do the drums? And I actually learned guitar last. I went singing, drums, then bass, and then actual guitar because everybody always wants to play lead guitar, so
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
so. And this is normally Mike's question, but I want to ask him. Mike, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think I know the answer, but you've done it sounds like you've done everything almost. But is there something that you're reaching for, that you can see on the horizon, that you're just hoping for? A job or a gig or anything like that?
The Grail job.
The Grail.
So I would love to be a villain in a musical animated feature. I think that would be
Mother
fabulous.
knows best.
My daughter pegged me with that song. I'm like, you realize that's the villain? She's like, yeah, 'cause she wanted to get matching tattoos related to Rapunzel. Or Tangled. But yeah, I really, when I was younger, I wanted to be the Disney princess. And then I got a little bit older. I was like, dude, the villains have so much more fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I did get a chance to audition once for, and I didn't know I didn't know that it was like essentially a Disney production at the time that I got the audition. And they sent over the music. And they didn't send sheet music, but they sent the lyrics. And I auditioned for it. And the composer was the one that chose the final 3 voices to take to the powers that be. And clearly he's not normally part of voiceover casting because he told me. And you normally don't get told that. And so I made his pick. I didn't get the gig, but I made his pick.
Top 3?
And yeah. And
Wow.
and the character is the catalyst, because there's always some parent that dies, for all the Disney movies.
Yep.
So, it was really cool to get that opportunity. I'd still love to play a villain in a feature film. But yeah, I don't, if that happens, awesome. I'm definitely not going to turn that opportunity down. But I think realistically, at this point, I mean, with automotive, I've voiced over 25 brands. So I don't know exactly, which brand I want next. Because, I mean, I'm playing automotive bingo. Like, I legit, I'm like, I want to collect them all. Or automotive.
Blackout.
Pokemon, yeah. But, yeah, I can't really think of anything specific that I would just really, like, have that as the final, or not final, but, like, the big thing. I know that you said that I do like a lot of stuff. There's so many genres that I have so little experience in, but I definitely want to play in that sandbox for sure. So, yeah, in terms of character work that I've done, I think I auditioned for one, but most of them come to me. Like, they heard my voice and like, oh my God, you're Costello. Are you willing? Are you open to doing this? Like, hell yes, I'm down for it. Like, I don't think anyone has ever approached me with a job and is like, no, I don't really want it. Like, no, I'm always, again, same with radio, always say yes.
Right.
So yeah, I'd like to do more in animation. I don't know that I'm got all of the skill set to do that. I do still struggle with being in my head when I'm doing improvisational stuff. And, that's something that I got to work on. And,
Yeah.
I'll
There's
get
people
there.
for that.
Yeah. There's people I can train with. There's people that can show me the way. So, there's that side of things. But yeah, I will say, narration in general, for in-show narration, yes, I would love to do that. I think, okay, that's one.
Okay.
We found it.
We found it.
Yay.
Like some kind of, crime, like Deadliest Women, like like
yeah.
some kind of thing,
The
some
podcast
series.
voice. Unsolved Mysteries with
Yeah,
Jenna
like
Birmingham.
I think having a series like that would be pretty cool. Like that would definitely be like a like that. Yeah, that would get me really excited.
Because you watch those, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
That's something that I regularly
Do what you
consume.
love.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
So-
yeah.
you touched on something that we didn't end up getting to that I alluded to at the very beginning of the show,
Okay.
and that is I wanted to. I don't want to miss the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about
Automotive.
automotive.
What's good?
Just because you had said something to me, or maybe it was just in a group conversation when we were at One Voice, something about just the subtle nuances that go into a car spot, hitting the dollar amounts with the right cadence and that sort of thing. And that interested me. It's not something I really ever understood about it until you said it. And I'm like, now every car commercial I hear it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So talk a little bit about how automotive differs from regular commercial work.
I feel that automotive has kind of a song in it. Not necessarily having it be sing-songy or anything like that. But there is, whenever you get automotive copy, there's a rhythm, there's a feel, there's kind of a song, kind of a sound in it. So that's part of it. That's part of one of the things that I love about it. The other thing that I love about it is you don't have to follow most of the normal traditional commercial rules. We get to play a little bit more. And, we're about creating excitement and energy to get you on that lot. And so, you bring a lot more sentences up, not upspeak, but you bring a lot more sentences up. And there's a lot more diversity, I feel, from line to line in an automotive script. And I'm talking more tier 3, which is regional, versus national. National commercials is national commercial. That there's no real difference for that. But, with tier 3, which is, again, local stuff, it's comparative reads are you need to know how to do a comparative read. And that's, when they have, the Lexus LS for $495 to the Lexus XL for $595. Like that's your comparative read. You don't get that in a lot of commercials, regularly speaking. But in automotive, you're absolutely comparing and contrasting these vehicles, but you still got to make them a priority. Like each one is awesome. It's not like,
This
the
one's
Volkswagen
bad, but this
or
one's
the
great.
meh. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can get the sports car or the truck. Like, no, it's you can get the sports car or the truck. Like, they're both amazing. Like, you can have anything you want, So I think the reason I like automotive so much is because it is more playful. It is more free. And even if I'm doing a luxury read, there's still a little bit more excitement, I think, in there. I mean, the nice thing about, like, for a luxury read, it's about power. Who doesn't like power? But there's still that you're creating an anticipation, which is still an excitement with a luxury read. And the big, crazy, over the top automotive commercials, they're still there. They haven't gone away. They're just definitely not the standard anymore. You have a lot more conversational. You have a lot more that's kind of like a hybrid between an announcer, first person experience kind of thing. But yeah, automotive is it's a lot of nuanced differences. And I mean, if you listen to any commercial break, there's going to be at least one automotive. So you can directly in every commercial break compare and contrast stylistically what kind of reads for regular standard commercial and for an automotive spot. And and then and disclaimers, that's definitely a thing that you need to get good at doing.
Is that the fast speak at the end?
So I have a question about that then. If there's a way you pretty much need to speak, now you said there's room to play, but there's also this sort of rigidity in the sense that if you don't say it this way, you don't sound like a tier 3 car commercial. So to me, those kind of, especially my chaotic brain, where I'm not gonna, I'm not trained to hit it that way. How hard is that to put both of those together? I'm playful, but I'm also staying right within these boundaries. That seems so tough.
You learn to overcome that.
Yeah.
And welcome that.
Yeah.
The more you do it, and that's the thing, like when I coach people, it's like, here's a bunch of scripts, we go through a couple of them, and then it's like, I don't want to see you for like a month. I want you to go through these scripts. I want you to keep doing them, do them. Sometimes record yourself, sometimes don't. Just start, because, if I have the moment where I've kind of instructed them on how to do one of the reads, like, I know that they have the idea at that point, and so that they can hopefully replicate that and get comfortable doing it. I mean, that's with anything in voiceover,
Sure.
anything in life, period. The more you do it, the more comfortable you are, the more it becomes muscle memory and second nature. So you can just see a script and, you go through it the first time, you can hear it. Don't try to fix what you hear. We know what commercials are supposed to sound like. I mean, we've all grown up hearing them. We hear them how many times a day? I don't subscribe to services. I mean, I subscribe to services, but I don't go commercial free on that stuff, because I'm always studying what other producers are doing, what other voices are doing, what's booking. I listen on the Odyssey app, but listen to the radio, but I'm still listening to the commercials. It's you just really need to keep doing it to where it does eventually feel comfortable.
That makes sense.
And some people, there's some voices that just have an instinct for it, and it's just like, you love seeing those, because it's like, now I just need to like tweak this or tweak that, or teach the comparative read portion of it, or just teach the nuancy stuff. But some people really have an instinct for it, and there's some people that have voices that are just perfect for it right now. For myself, in commercial world in general, this would not be working like it is today 25 years ago. My voice was not trending. My voice was not what they, that was booking and that people wanted. It is now, thankfully, so that I can work. But trends are always changing. And, if we're watching, the progression of stuff, I mean, sorry, I'm digressing a bit, but like during COVID, anybody that did a demo in 2020, you really needed to have a COVID read in your demo, because that was one of the things that we were all doing. And, a few years
We're all
later,
here
don't need
together.
the COVID read on your demo anymore, because
Yeah.
we're not really doing those anymore.
We want to
So-
forget it now.
We have to cut that out.
Yeah.
We're going to take that piece. We're going to update it a little bit. But yeah, back to automotive. It's really a matter of just doing it until it just feels natural to you. And again, there's several different types of automotive spots. There, for every type of vehicle, you've got a different person that you are selling said vehicle. So, like I do a lot of BMW and a lot of Subaru. Those are kind of like my two tops, but I do a lot of Kia. I do a lot of Nissan. I don't know.
They are different people. If I'm picturing who's buying those,
Yeah.
It's interesting though that there's not a non-compete in that industry.
There is if you're national. If
Ah.
you're doing local,
Therein lies
you just
the rub.
you just need to worry about the market. So I can
Ah.
voice an automotive here in DFW, and and I can voice another automotive dealership in Houston, and I can voice another dealership in Austin. That's all right here.
I imagine
But
someone
they're
like-
all
You just can't do
comes
Subaru and BMW
In the same market.
DFW.
yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine
it,
someone
got it.
travels and goes, "Hey, ain't she the Ford girl? What the heck's
She
that all about?"
showed me a Ford.
I heard her.
In Pensacola.
I cannot believe this. This is
And a
all over
Jeep in
Florida.
Kansas City. What's the deal?
this is crap.
Yeah, but that's the thing that is awesome about with Tier 3 automotive. You're not going to get rich doing it. You're not. They just don't pay well. I mean, generally speaking, it's between 150 and 250, but there are people that'll do it, that are like only offering $50 for it. It's your business, your choice if you want to do that.
But you get that done in an hour.
Yeah.
All of it. Not just the voice part. Yeah.
Another question just about the nature of you. You said before, like your company, the only people that do voices for your company are people that are employees of said company.
Correct.
How does that work compensation wise? Is it
I'm salary.
that's
The harder
what
I
was
work, the
wondering.
less I make. Yeah.
Is it okay? Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
How does that work as far as pay to talk?
Yeah, I will say that if I do a commercial for somebody on their radio or on the radio, and they're like, "Hey, can you also do our TV stuff?" Absolutely, I'm getting paid for that. I once it's off our stations, and they're taking. I mean, I have a appliance store that I do, and I've been doing it for 6 years. I hope they stay. But I did their radio spots, and then they contacted me, and they're like, well, the owner wants to know if you can also do their TV spots. And I was like, absolutely. And they're like, and can you also do their phone systems? Yes, I can. So I wound up getting all of that just with that one client by doing their radio commercial. And there's been times where they're like, we don't even need you to redo the TV, but can we have the radio one? You can have the radio one. You got to pay me to take it. But yeah, the rest of the work that we do, I do training videos for work. I don't get paid for that. I do other imaging stuff, like concert promotions and stuff like that for the imaging guys. I voice that. It's still part of my umbrella of being a voice for Odyssey. I don't get paid extra for that. But as long as it goes off, yeah.
I lied. That's not golden handcuffs. That sounds like magic. It sounds so fun.
It is. Like I said, I'm like truly blessed that I get to do this.
If you didn't catch it while you're listening, Jenna's lovely fur babies. We are finally made an appearance on the show. No, it's good. We were talking about that before. She's like, I'm so sorry you can hear my dog.
I think they see the timer.
We love dogs. If we hear them, that'll just be an extra guest. And so, yes, hello to your doggos from Mitch.
Yeah, that would be the old one that we have. She's 17. She's a Corgi mix. Her name is Starbuck. And then I've got a mini Bernice. Her name is Ripley. She's 3. Newt is 3. So badass women in sci-fi is kind of the theme we got with the dogs.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Was Newt really a badass though?
Dude, that girl
she just screamed.
No, but she lived on that. No, but she lived on that spaceship for how long unsupervised with those things? Like, I'm sorry, she may not have been killing him, but she survived. That's pretty badass.
Yeah. She was just annoying. She was the worst part of that movie. No offense to the little girl who played him, but I'm just saying, everything else was great, and then there was Newt. Continue.
No, but so that's them, and we have Bishop. Who he's the boy. He's a little bit younger than Newt, and he is a Velcro dog. Not with me though. That's the nice thing. He's my husband's Velcro.
Just the other
but he does like to make sure he can plop himself between the two of us, and he'll lay long ways so he can be in both of our laps. So, but yeah. Sweet. So and again, Bishop from Alien. So we got the cast going on.
There you go.
Yep, still sounds like a dream job.
It is.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna take, since Mitch took my question, I'm gonna take his normal stance right now and say that I'm getting a little itchy. Getting a little itchy.
Okay. What does that mean? Are you?
I mean, I think I want to act, Mitch. I think I want to act.
Oh man, I was just playing coy with you, but
of the show where we need to come up with some stupid ChatGPT script and
tell them about that button.
Oh yeah, the button that I have to push to stop the recording that I say every time. Yeah, so we're gonna hit stop.
Yeah,
and you're not gonna know because it's just going to come right back.
That's right.
Here, I'll pick a phrase.
It bears explanation every time because people can't figure it out unless I talk about it. So here we go. There we are.
Oh wow.
Back.
Okay.
We're back.
I didn't move at all.
I have an itch on my nose. All right. So, yeah, we thought we'd tap into Jenna's desire to be a villainess.
I had trouble reading the opening, Mike, so you hit me.
Okay. All right. Scene opens in Madame Drausella's pillow-laden throne room. She lounges across a divan shaped like a crescent moon. Snib is bouncing on a beanbag. Grok is chewing on a dream catcher.
Snib, Grok, my moonbeams of mayhem. It's time for Operation Eternal Nap.
No. Are we taking a nap? I just drank tea with like 16 freaking herbs in it that I can't pronounce. I'm wired, man. I'm wired.
I ate a candle once.
No, you lovable lunatics. Winkendale must slumber. Every baker, butcher, bureaucrat, barista asleep, peaceful, powerless, perpetually snoring.
Okay. So like you want us to smother the city with pillows?
Do we hit people until they're sleepy?
No. You sedate the spirit, boys. Sprinkle the sighing sand across the rooftops, chant the lullaby of oblivion in D flat. Use the dream gong, only once. I don't want to repeat of the squirrel incident.
Oh, the squirrels never woke up.
Oh, one of them learned to talk in its sleep. It was creepy. It asked me for my Netflix password.
Gentlemen, this isn't hard. I want the city dozing like a dragon in a sunbeam. I want them drooling into their soup. I want Winkendale to hibernate like a cursed raccoon.
Okay, got it. Soup, raccoons, sleep gong, B flat.
B flat.
Right.
It's D flat.
We're doomed.
Just go. Go. Before I put myself to sleep explaining it again.
Okay.
Honestly, must I do everything myself?
Bong. Oops.
Weird, man.
Weird. Madame Drowzella wants everyone to not sleep.
I want them to snore.
Snore.
Or actually, yeah, I guess we did go sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. But only, with sleep apnea.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because the
I guess
idea
sleep-
started
if you
out
talk in your
everybody
sleep-
snoring and so that people couldn't sleep, and it
Yeah.
went to eternal sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they talk in their sleep, I'm cool with that. If they sing in their sleep, that's extra entertainment. So,
There you go.
Interesting.
Well, speaking of extra entertainment,
It does
this was
happen.
very entertaining, Jenna. Thank you so much
Yes.
No, it's fun.
for joining us, for playing with us, for telling us all about you.
It was a
You're such a
pleasure.
wonderful personality and good at what you do. So
I
we
try.
appreciate your time, and thanks for joining the Mitch and Mike family.
And I enjoyed your time too, and I,
That was cool, Mitch, the way you did that and said the same thing I did.
it was awesome
Mike,
meeting you, Jenna.
No, it's good to meet you too. That means we just gotta meet in 3D
Yeah.
at one of these conferences next time.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
you come and hang out at Mike's house and we figure out, the DFW lunch.
Come on
Situation.
down.
Oh boy,
Come on down, Mitch.
I'm in.
Could be a thing.
You know I got plenty of rooms to put you up.
I've never been. I never been.
You might fall in love and move down to Texas with the rest of us fine folk.
Oh, I was like, I am in love. She is here.
Well.
I don't know about love. I'm still a California girl at heart.
I am.
So I
See,
can't
I left
say
California in the dust 20 years ago.
All right.
I'm a
Well,
true
this
kid.
is
Family.
awkward, Mike. We're just gonna let
We
it
do.
run out. Okay.
We say goodbye awkwardly.
Yeah, but Mitch, Mike, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me. It was
Thank you.
fun.
Good times all around. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Next week.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Not you, Jenna. We got another
Oh.
guest.
Oh.
Sorry.
Dang it.
Wow. Jesus. I'm out of here.
Thought you liked me, man.
I'm out.
I'm out.